Hello, and welcome back to the Reactivist Podcast. I'm Marlena Shivo. So it turns out that in Nassau County, New York, they have banned transgender athletes from joining teams that are of the gender that they identify as. I know this is not a new topic, but obviously it's going to be an ongoing issue going forward. And it's scary to actually share an opinion on this because you get attacked. You get attacked for thinking the way you think. But regardless, I am going to attempt to explain this in a way that shows compassion on both sides. So it is no secret, and it's an old argument, that men are physically stronger than women. That's just the way it is. We don't see women in the NFL. They're not banned, okay? They're not banned, but you don't see them in the NFL. There are women in the WNBA that I wouldn't want to play. That's for sure. I mean, have you seen those women? They are hardcore athletes and they are very strong and capable people, but they don't compete in the NBA for a reason. Okay? They compete against the athletes that are of the same skill set. It's just not a fair game. If Mike Tyson was transgendered, right? Say he decided he's a woman. Do you want to be a woman boxing Mike Tyson? No. What woman would want to box Mike Tyson? He can identify as a woman, but it's not a fair fight, quite literally. It's just not a fair fight. And so I don't think that this is the bigotry that the far left wants to make this out to be. I think that if there is a male who is transgendered and identifies as a female, I think that they should just stay playing on the male teams because that is a fair competition. You know, we're trying to make rules to be inclusive, but then we're being exclusive to all the natural born females or cisgender females that want to compete fairly in a sport. I know we're all about equality. I get it. Women can do what men can do, right? You know, we can hold the same professions, we can learn the same things, we can have the same rights, and that's how it should be. But we shouldn't be pretending that the physical strength of a woman can compete with the physical strength of a man. And not to get really dark, but this has been proven time and again in the world of domestic abuse. I'm not saying women haven't abused their male spouses. There are cases of that. However, statistically, it's the man dominating the woman. It's women being scared of men. It's men raping women, right? And women can't get away. Why? Because they can't physically ward this person off. Yes, sometimes weapons are involved and they're scared for their lives. But if someone grabbed you, you know what? Do an experiment. I've done an experiment before with men. I have said to men before, do me a favor, hold me down with all your strength. Just hold me down. I want to see if I can get away. And I'm talking men of all sizes, right? I've done this with a few different people. And I just wanted to see how that would play out. And do I have to tell you how it played out? I couldn't get away. Why is that? Because men are stronger than women. They just are. Okay. So you can be a man who identifies as a woman, and that's your right. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm not here to tell anybody how to live their lives. But there's zero argument when it comes to male strength versus female strength. And that's why, if you look at all the professional sports, you see there are female divisions and there are male divisions. I think everybody should have the right to be who they are, whatever that looks like to them, whatever feels right to them, 100%. But I do think that there has to be limitations in certain spaces. There just does. Where are the rights of the women? Where are they? You think it's you think that that's equality for them? No. Now they're getting overpowered by men at their own game. I don't think people are applying logic to this. They just want to say it's prejudice, it's bigotry, and it's non inclusive. But there's just common sense here. I know it's an unpopular opinion about what happened in Nassau County, and it is happening across the country in various states about banning trans athletes. But I'm begging everybody to take a step back and think about it. Women couldn't play in male sports, so they got a league of their own. Maybe it's time for the transgender community to think on that. And if you think what I'm saying is illogical or unreasonable, then you get in the ring with Mike Tyson. This topic bleeds into something related. Across the country, there are laws being pushed and proposed to have kids being transgendered and having the ability to get gender affirming surgeries or hormones without the consent of their parents. And I don't know why this is being pushed so hardcore. If you are a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old kid, you're not old enough to make medical decisions like that. You're just not. They're not old enough to even have their own health insurance, but they're allowed to make medical decisions for themselves. Let's take transgender out of the mix. Let's just take the idea of like that being the issue. If you have a teenager who wants a nose job, do you want them to go to a plastic surgeon on their own and schedule the surgery? No. You need parental consent to get a nose job. You need parental consent to get a breast reduction. No surgeon has the consent to perform any other type of surgery on your child without parental consent. So why are we trying to allow kids to change their bodies irreparably without parental consent? Where is the logic? You're a parent. You have a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old. It is your job to protect them and to make sure that you're making the best decisions for them because they are incapable of making decisions for the future. They just are. They think they know what they're talking about. Let's be real here. Try to go back into your 12-year-old mind and think about the way you thought of things and think of the things you used to think about. I mean, the things that kids think are important today aren't, and they grow out of a lot of things. And I'm not saying that every child who thinks that they are transgendered is going to grow out of it, but there is a large percentage that will. And they just might be gay. Parents are the legal guardian of their children until they are 18. And kids should not be able to make any decisions medically for themselves until they are a legal adult. And I don't understand why we are pushing so hard. I'm not against transgender people. I am actually a very huge advocate and supporter of the LGBTQ community. And there's been infighting within the LGBTQ about this because it really does go against logic when it comes to sports and when it comes to minors making decisions for themselves.